Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to show you guys how to feed your stubborn gecko. There's a lot of reasons why a gecko would not eat. It could be an illness, it could be they have not been shown how to eat properly, or maybe it's just genetically they don't really hunt for bugs as much. Now in this video, I'm going to do methods that work for all these kinds, and hopefully they can get to a point where they eat bugs from the tongs. Usually you want them to be really food driven and eat bugs immediately as soon as they see one, but not all geckos do this, and it doesn't always mean that they're unhealthy, it just means that they don't want a bug at that moment. As I said, all geckos are different. We have some geckos that right out of the egg, they know what a bug is and they hunt for it, and we have geckos that take them like 2 or 3 months until they can know what a bug is and they attack it and they eat it or whatever, and then eventually they usually get used to eating bugs from the tongue. Now this method that I'm going to show you of hand feeding bugs to your gecko should only be done for a few weeks until they get used to what eating, digesting, and hunting for a bug is. You'll want them to see the tongs and know that that means food. So for this whole process we're going to be using tongs, not our fingers, not a spoon, not whatever, just tongs. Or whatever you want to use. If you want to use chopsticks instead of tongs, you can use chopsticks and try to give them crickets with chopsticks. But I use tongs because I guess I'm more agile with tongs than chopsticks. But stick to one thing only, as it will be easier for the crested gecko to learn what is food and what isn't food. So if you have a stubborn gecko and you want to know how to get him to eat more bugs, stay in this video and I'll show you how. So you probably know that most crested geckos are not like this, but this is a very food-driven baby that hatched only about a month and a half ago, and it is already pretty big. And this is the kind of feeding response that you get when you breed geckos that are very food driven. This is not a gecko that I had to teach and spend time on teaching how to eat. This is a gecko that just simply likes eating. Now this, on the other hand, is a gecko that I have taught how to eat. And as you can see, it is also very food driven. It takes crickets like it's nothing. And this is where you can get if you follow the steps that I'm going to give you. So if you want your crested gecko to be like this, just stay in the video and I'll show you how. Alright guys, so we're gonna get into the most graphic part, which is killing the bug for them, because we want the juices to be out so that they can lick it and be more open to trying it. Once they lick it and they see that it's tasty, they're gonna try to eat it. So that's what we want. We want them to taste the juices and know that they want that. I'm gonna use gloves and tongs. The tongs are for them to associate this with eating, and the gloves are for me to not get dirty while getting all those juices out. Now to feed your gecko, you obviously need a gecko and a bug, preferably for this method a cricket. Crickets have these juicy legs that we want, and that's why I want a cricket. They're also softer than other bugs. They don't have as much chitin, so it's easier for the gecko to eat a cricket than it is a different bug. First thing you want to do is squeeze a leg out. I'm not sure if I recorded how I did that, but I did it. And once you get that leg out, it is really easy for the crickets to lose their legs. You just have to hold it you only have to hold the leg for a minute, and they will, not even a minute, like a second, and they will release it. And once you have the leg, you just squeeze the leg so you get some of those juices out. And the gecko, look, that one already wants it. See, once they lick it, they want it. And as long as they get the juices, you're gonna get the rest of the cricket. So now that this gecko's in that feeding response, if I put this in front of it, it's probably gonna go and take it. The cricket is doing a liquid with his mouth. I'm not sure if that's good or bad for them, but I don't think they like that juice actually. Okay, it doesn't want to eat it. So I'm gonna go back to the leg method. Get a leg out. Actually got two in here. We only want the bigger ones. Those are the juicy ones. The smaller ones are harder to feed. They also work, especially for really, really baby geckos. But we want these. Okay, got it. And then once it got the leg, I can simply put the rest of the cricket, and it's probably gonna want it. Yeah. Alright. I don't know why this is not focusing, but it's eating the cricket. And as I said, this works with all ages. What I do is just get the leg out, you feed the leg, you let them lick the leg. Once they lick the leg, they're gonna want to go in that feeding mode, and they're going to definitely eat whatever you put in there. And as I said, this works with all geckos. This guy is 4 years old. He is a gecko that eats primarily the crested gecko diet, not crickets. He is never interested in crickets. And I've actually never tried this method on him, so I'm gonna try it now, and hopefully he does not make me look stupid. But I think he's gonna eat it just because all geckos end up eating this way. So I got one leg out. Now I gotta make him be more still. Come here. Okay, can you look that way for me? Can you look that way for me, please? Stop. Sometimes they lock in something and they want to get there, and they, like, you need to like completely throw them off and make them forget what they were looking at. Okay. Are you okay? Alright. So hopefully in one of those licks, you can just like put the leg in there, and once they do that, they're already eating it. As long as you slide the leg in, they're gonna eat it. And once you do that, you can probably do the rest of the cricket as well. See, when they're licking, they usually have one unprepared side, and you can slide the leg in there. And once you do that, I'm hoping, yeah, look, he wants the rest of the cricket. And as I've said, this gecko never eats bugs. Yeah, it's probably the first bug in a bunch of months, in a few months. I don't know. It is a pretty guy. He's really far down right now, and he's not the prettiest when he's far down, but he is really pretty. Just ignore the looks. Just think about the message that I'm trying to give you. Now, it's been like a minute since I gave him that cricket. I'm not sure he's gonna take this one. He's probably not gonna take it unless I give him the leg and do the whole process again. But eventually, with time, you'll get your gecko used to the tongs being food. So if okay, he got it. I think he's gonna go for it. Yeah. Alright, so once he has that, he's gonna go for everything, like any kinds of bugs, as long as they're the proper size. So I'm gonna go get some worms and see if he wants them. Now the thing I do with mealworms is pretty much the same. I get the thinnest side, which is at the very end. If you squeeze it a little bit, it's even easier. So I'm squeezing a little bit the worm, and hopefully once I get that in his mouth while he's licking, he's gonna bite it and eat it. and he took it eventually. If this didn't work, like in the 5th try, you can also split the worm in half, get the juices out, and do the whole thing again. But you see, just simply leaving it in their mouths. The thing is, if you put it in their mouths and you keep grabbing it, they're probably gonna let go before they even bite it. But if you put it in their mouths and you let it go, they're probably gonna bite it. So once you do that, they are probably gonna take the whole worm or the whole cricket, and that's what you want. So, and as I said, you can do this with any kind of bug. You can, any bug that you can split or cut or whatever, you can do it with. I would start with crickets because they are cheap, easy, and they are also pretty nutritious. So do it with crickets if you want. They have, what are you touching? You can do the leg method, which is probably the best one. And yeah, let me know how it works for you guys. So thank you for watching. Alright guys, that is all I have for today. I hope this video was useful, and if it was, please comment, subscribe, and like, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.